I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had to figure out what was wrong with my chat. My chat box wasn't there, and I know you guys like to type sometimes, so I just wanted to make that available to you guys. Um, okay, so again, I have to say it another time because my smoke alarm's beeping, and this is a new video. Ignore my smoke alarm if you can. If you can't, you can come back another time when I'm live and watch. But I had changed the batteries in my last one, and then the other one started beeping. I have three of them in my apartment because I have a big apartment. So please try not to worry too much about the beeping. It's really annoying, but hey, hit a like as you come in, please. It's free, it don't cost you nothing. And we will start talking about the Dre McCray case because this case is crazy. It really is crazy. And it really bothers me. Let me tell you guys. So I was on TikTok. My daughter is like obsessed with TikTok. She's 9 years old and she has a TikTok. And I don't have one, but she does. And I was scrolling through my For You page actually, and I ran across this video of a lady who was sitting beside her husband, and her husband was in a hospital bed on life support, and she was, kissing on him and telling him she loved him and things like that. And I was like, that's sad, I liked the video. Um, and then the next thing you know, like I'm seeing all these things about how she allegedly has done something to her husband, and I feel like this case needs attention. But before we get started, I have three people in here, so we don't have very many people in here, but I don't really expect it to be a lot because um, I haven't been on much at all. I've been recovering from COVID. We had COVID, then had rebound COVID, and all that mess. So that's where I'm at with everything. I'm still trying to get myself together here, but I feel a lot better than I did. And I hope everybody is safe. Wear your mask in public. If you don't believe in masks, social distance, do what you got to do, get your vaccine, whatever. Please be safe because this stuff really is hard on you. All right. So Dre McCray, also known as Andrea McCray, she has a page called Slay with Dre. And on her page, I'm doing a live. On her page, thank you. She basically does makeup and she's really, really good at it. If you don't know who she is, go look her up. Her name is Dre McCray or Slay with Dre. She really does fantastic makeup. Like it's really great. Like it's really cool. She's very creative. Um, and she's well known for that, but she's also well known. Um, Maria, I'm on a video, baby. Because she sells jewelry for a multi-level marketing. She's a multi-level marketing rep, and some people like the jewelry. I'm not a fan, but basically, she's pretty high up the ladder. Some people call it like a cult, or it's like one of those. I don't know. Basically, it's some people say it's like a scam. Some people say it's like just not very attractive jewelry. Whatever you want to think about it. I don't know much about the company that she works for, but I know she's pretty far up the ladder. And apparently she makes really good money. So she got with her husband now, whose name is Vaughn. Okay. And they got together quite some time ago. He was actually about 20 years old when they got together, and he was a Marine. And she was a she was about, I think they said she was almost 30 when they got together. And see, Vaughn's mom was totally against it from the beginning. She tried to tell him like, hey, don't turn your whole life upside down for a woman. You're young, you have a career in your hands. Stay focused on this. She has children, you don't have children. So, she tried to talk him out of it, but unfortunately, Vaughn was not going for it. He basically just he went with Dre and he married her and they ended up having a child together. But as even though he was very successful, he was and still is very successful, um, he was still young. And as you can imagine, that, when you get with someone when you're young, I'm not trying to say that she brainwashed them, but it's pretty easy to be um it's pretty easy to be influenced by, or it's pretty easy to be just taken over by somebody that you love when you're young and you're young minded and you haven't matured yet. And he really seemed to love Dre. So basically, sometime down the line, they started having problems. I believe it was in 2019. They were having some really bad arguments, and the videos are actually out there. I will try to upload some footage of them, but the arguments were Vaughn basically screaming to the top of his lungs at Dre, saying, like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, he seemed very upset, and some even say he seemed scared, and I can agree with that. The tone of his voice, he did seem a little bit anxious or scared, on edge. Um, he just seemed very overwhelmed. He told her that, he feels like she's using him and all these other things. Now, mind you, that was back in 2019. Okay. So fast forward, everything's fixed. They're still together. Now, I should have mentioned previously that Vaughn allegedly has a uh, history with seizures. And yeah, I mean, I guess maybe he was getting treatment for those seizures up until this point, up until recently. I don't know. Or maybe they just weren't bad enough to need treatment at the time. I'm not completely sure. But what I can tell you is that Dre got introduced to this diet. It's a vegan alkaline diet, and she also started using something called kratom. Um, and apparently, she was taking it by the handful. And not just was she doing it, but she was also giving it to her husband, and she was giving it to her children. Um, and apparently it's not good for people with seizures. The doctor did warn Dre against that, and Vaughn against that. They both were warned that it could make seizures worse, and they continued to do it anyway. Either way, let's fast forward a little bit. Just trying to catch everybody up if you don't already know the story. Vaughn was recording Dre. I'm sorry, Dre was recording Vaughn. Dre is the wife. She was recording her husband Vaughn having seizures. He had like 8 seizures back to back, and she was recording it. A lot of people found that really uncomfortable and really strange, and it was just really unsettling. Like, most people were like, "Why are you recording him doing this when you should have him in a hospital or be calling 911?" I even seen some video footage where she was in the car and I'm on a video, baby. You're gonna have to take that somewhere else until I'm finished. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. She's on a video. I said on a video. I'm on a video. She's doing something. I don't know. But anyway, so basically, um, hey BJ, hello. How have you been? So basically, Dre is she was in a video in her car recording, basically just saying things like, I'm so worried about him. Last night he had me really concerned. I was scared to death. But why didn't you call an ambulance if you seen your husband having seizures? And he was having them back to back. He was acting like he wasn't himself. Why would you not call 911? I can't wrap my head around that. Like, that's really the first thing that really unsettled me about. um oh, thank you. I'm doing a lot better, thank God. Thank God, finally. But it really didn't sit right with me, and not only me, it didn't sit right with many, many other people. Excuse my eyelashes; they look like they're about to come off here. Um, so let's jump to the point. So if you guys don't know about this case, you need to go look it up. It needs attention because this is not right. This man is still alive. He's on life support, and he needs justice. Something needs to be done because not only is he, yeah. Exactly. She did intend not to call. She chose not to call. She didn't care enough to call, clearly. She thinks that she's like a holistic doctor apparently now. I know a lot of people were saying that, like, she thinks that she's higher than a doctor, like she don't believe that they make sense or that they know what they're talking about. Which, I mean, we have some doctors out here who aren't 100% reliable and trustworthy, but I will say that for the most part, we have some good doctors out here as well. And I'm not going to go against the doctor's advice if they're telling me to give my husband medication or what might have you, because clearly he's having seizures and you're not able to control them. But the doctor apparently and allegedly warned Dre and Vaughn about the alkaline diet mixed with the kratom. Is that how you say it? Kratom? Doctor warned her against that and him, and she continued to sneak it to him and everything. And apparently, she was even sneaking Xanaxes in his food and drinks, from what I have heard. I don't know if that's true, but that's allegedly. So let's jump to the point. I have a lot of notes here because I'm just catching up on this case. Um, on June 23rd, allegedly, Vaughn was found. One second. Quiet, okay. Vaughn was found um, allegedly tried to unalive himself, hanging in a what was it, like a shed or something? And allegedly, okay, a lot of people think she had something to do with it. Hello. And the thing about it is that he had very high amounts of kratom in his system when this happened. And again, the doctors had warned her against that. But she also claimed in the police report that prior to her finding him hanging in the shed, that he and she had an argument and that he was acting very strange. So I mean, it's not looking good for her. But let me tell you guys something. It's not even so much all of those details that I just told you that everybody is freaking out about. What the biggest problem is right now is that it's her behavior in the videos that you see of her on live. Um, like in one video, he's on life support, okay? This man is not able to respond. The doctors have told her that he is in a vegetative state. They have told her that the damage in his brain cannot be reversed. Um, and yeah, as she was seen on live on a video, it is very sad. Um, taking her spit and wiping it all over his face while he is sleeping, because I say sleeping because while he's on life support. And she claims that she thinks that will heal him. Okay. Now, just for what it's worth, she's also claimed she's a Jehovah's Witness. Um, I just can't, I cannot, I can't wrap my head around it. Um, and on top of that, his parents and him have not spoken in years because she convinced him, allegedly, that his parents were no good for him and that he needed to stop dealing with them. Um, it is. It is, BJ. I honestly, they need to do something. This is not okay. Um, but apparently, his parents drove 3,000 miles to see their son, and she did not notify them that he had tried to unalive himself, which I find very strange because let me tell you something. I don't care how much my husband doesn't like some of his family, his dad, his mom, which we all get along with our parents great because you only get one set of parents. But I don't care how bad he doesn't like to talk to them or deal with them. I would never not tell his parents because they deserve to know that's their child. You know, it is. I'm sorry. It is very horrible, Sunset. Um, if you go look up Dre McCray, you'll find it. It's everywhere. If you have TikTok, it's all over TikTok, even YouTube. This man needs justice. This is not okay. And I have heard, now this is allegedly, she's also been giving her children the same thing she was giving him. So if this has done this to a grown man's body, imagine what kind of damage it can do to a child. That is not okay. Something needs to be done before something happens to one of their kids. From what I've heard, and this is just through social media, they are testing the children now to see if they have um, any of the stuff that she was given, Vaughn. They're testing the children to see if it's in their system as well. And I hope it's not, but if it is, I'm sure that they'll probably step in and take the kids, hopefully. Hopefully for the safety of them. I'm on the phone. I mean, I'm not on the phone, I'm on live. So again, his mom is pleading for help. His dad, his family, they need help. They need help. They need justice for Vaughn. They need they need help. They need the word out there. And I know that, my channel can spread the word. That's why we're here. Oh, okay, okay. We'll call it Tatum, she said. Okay. We'll call it Tatum. That's what we'll call that word. Um, I didn't know that. I'm so new to all this. Like this is crazy. But it's how can you ever? And I remember, I seen some of the text messages that were allegedly between um Dre and Vaughn, and he was saying things like, "You were using me, you never loved me." This man had to ask to borrow money from his wife, which I also find extremely weird and unsettling because why would you need to ask to borrow money from your wife? If y'all are married, isn't it? Both of your money? I mean, some people keep separate funds, and that's okay. But it's almost like she was his mother, not his wife, in my opinion. I mean, I can't. So now we're at this point where, Dre's behavior is just very strange. It's very off-putting. Something's not right. I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, like she seems overly excited in the videos of Vaughn on life support. Yes, definitely search it because it needs every ounce of attention that it can get. Something is not right about this woman. And I'm not saying, that she did something to him because we don't know. But, you slipping a Xanax in someone's drink or someone's food without their knowledge, that right there just shows that you would do something ill. That's ill in alone of itself. Like, it is very weird. Oh yeah, she's definitely narcissistic. You can tell that just by watching some of her videos. She's very much stuck on herself. And she doesn't see anything wrong with what she's doing. She thinks it's okay. She thinks it's okay to wipe spit, saliva all over a man's face that's on life support. That's disgusting. I mean, that don't even make sense. And then I seen another video today of her discussing. She was saying that she didn't want him eating certain things and that he needed to be. He's on a feeding tube, first of all. Okay. And the doctors are telling her like and the nurses are telling her like listen like he's lost 20 pounds since he's been here and she's like well I expect him to lose weight, he's laying in the bed. Okay, he's on a feeding tube, so I get that him being on a feeding tube would obviously probably make him lose a lot of weight. When my mom was in the hospital and she was on a feeding tube for a couple of weeks having COVID, she lost a ton of weight. But you're saying that you expect him to lose weight because he's been laying in the bed doing nothing. That doesn't even make sense. But why would you be trying to put a man on a diet when he's already on life support and when he's on a feeding tube? Does that make sense to anybody? Because I can't. I don't understand it. That's just really weird to me. Something is up with this girl. Something is up. I don't know what her intentions are. I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something and something is up. I don't know for certain, but from what I have heard, they're not allowing her to see him now, and I hope that's the truth because she needs to be as far away from him as they can get her at this point. When his parents drove 3,000 miles up here to see him, and she wouldn't let them see their son, that is very weird. Good. Someone said, I heard they are no longer letting Dre into the hospital. She kept his parents from him. Angel of love. Yes. Yes. She did. They drove 3,000 miles and they couldn't see their child who's on life support. That is the dirtiest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's not like his parents were bad people. She just didn't want them in his life because let's be honest, when you're in a relationship, Maria, cut the water off. When you're cut the water off, please, in the kitchen. When you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want you to see your parents and they isolate you from them without good cause, and even if they have good cause, that's their decision. Okay? That's a huge red flag. And obviously, Vaughn was young and he didn't understand red flags at that point, clearly. But that is a really big red flag. Yes, she is. Um, I don't care how bad my husband doesn't like his mom or dad. If they haven't done anything malicious to him, I'm not going to encourage him to not be in their lives because we only get one parent, one set of parents. And after that, we're on our own. So, it's like I have dealt with some people and I have not cared for their parents. Okay, but at the end of the day, they're still their parents. And it's not my place or anyone else's to try to keep them from that person. But see, narcissistic people, they will do that. They will try to keep you from everyone in your family who loves you and cares about you because they want to control you. They want to brainwash you. And I have had experience with that myself. And I'm here to tell you that it does happen. They will try to turn you against every family member. If they do one thing wrong, they'll point it out and they won't let you forget it and they'll make sure you hold it against them so that you have no dealings with those people. And, you know, I'm not saying that there are some people out here who don't deal with their parents, who don't associate themselves with them, but and they probably have good cause, and that's okay. If that's your choice, that's your choice. But if your significant other is trying to brainwash you into not and being involved with your own parents, that's very strange, and that's something that you should definitely see as a red flag. Also, the fact that she had control over all the money, which that's okay. I mean, there's plenty times where the wife has control over the money or the husband has control over the money. But what's not okay is having to ask for a loan from your husband or wife. So I think she really did brainwash poor Vaughn. Now she won't even let him pass into light. Exactly. Exactly. She won't let him. You know why? Because this is about control. Let me explain something to you guys. I have dealt with narcissistic people, and unfortunately, they want control over everything. They want control over your life, they want control over your death. They will probably even try to control what you eat, where you sleep, what you drink, where you go, who you talk to, what you drive, what you wear, where you're at. I could see her being that type of person. I truly could see her being that type of wife. When she talks to him like a child in a lot of videos, especially the ones where they're arguing, not like a wife and a husband talk. She talks to him like he is her child, which I found very disturbing because that's weird. Like, you shouldn't be talking to your husband like he's your child. Um, she also referred to her kids as lambs, excuse me, lambs. I don't know what that's about, but I had seen in one of her videos, she's like trying to leave the hospital, and she's like, I have to go feed the lambs. And I actually thought she had lambs. This was like one of the first videos I've ever saw. And then I learned later that she refers to her kids as lambs, which is strange. Um, and then, like I said, the doctor told Dre that, specifically, he said, don't mix the Tatum, okay, y'all know what the K word is, with the alkaline diet because it can cause seizures. And she was like, forget what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. And she continued to do it. And he continued to have seizures. And she continued to record it. And she continued to post it on social media. And can you imagine how that made him feel? This man was lethargic. He didn't even know what day it was, where he was at, if he was coming or going. And she's posting all of this content for everyone in the world to see because she had over 600,000 followers. Okay. Now, that right there is very weird. Like if my husband's having seizures, I'm going to be calling the ambulance. We're going to be taking him to the nearest hospital. We're going to be trying to figure out what's going on so we can fix it, not recording it and making it a show for the world to see. It definitely is torture. It's almost like she resented him. That's how I feel. Because and there's a thin line between love and hate. And some people can act like they love you and they really hate you deep down inside. Like they have a very dark heart. And I don't know that that's Dre, but it kind of seems that way. So I really just wanted to spread this word because I found it to be very weird. The fact that he tried to unalive himself before says a lot too. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that he had tried to do it before. Yeah, that does. That does say a lot. It's almost as if he felt trapped and like that was the only way out. And that's really sad because he's young, he's successful, and he had a family behind him that really did love him. And you know, he just wanted out. Yeah. And unfortunately some people they feel like they can't fight anymore and then they try to unalive themselves. And it's so sad because she could probably see how miserable he was. And she could probably see signs that he did not want to be there, but she forced it on him anyway. Like I said, in my opinion, she brainwashed this man. That's how I feel. Um, don't get me wrong. There were some good videos as well. There were some videos where they seemed to be very happy and they seemed to be very loving towards one another. But for the most part, it was a lot of red flags. And so, it's hard to tell what her true intentions were. It's just really disturbing. Honestly, it is. It's very disturbing. So, so I just wanted to bring this case to everybody's attention because it needs all the attention it can get. This is not normal behavior coming from her, and this man's mom needs justice. This man's family needs justice, and this man needs justice. Something happened to him, and we don't know what it is, but a lot of the YouTube community as well as the TikTok community, we have a feeling that she had something to do with it. So we need to spread the word, guys. If you have a YouTube channel and you have a platform, if you even make videos, put the word out there. Oh yeah, definitely. You're welcome. I mean, that's what I want to that's what I like to do. Um it means a lot to me to do this and it's all about getting justice to the ones who deserve it. All about justice. And I will be back. I'll be back on. We can probably do another live tomorrow if I can. I should be able to do it. I don't see why not. I'm going to try to do more research so I can find out more information because it's getting really interesting to me. But make sure you hit the like button as you come in. And I'm going to go ahead and end this live so I can cook dinner for my family. And I will be back on tomorrow. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Go and look that case up if you haven't done so yet. And justice for Vaughn. Have a good night, guys.